Another day, another carry. All right, I want to quickly see this because I'm curious about the Riot Classic.
History repeats itself. It is not history that has anything to do with League of Legends, and it is not history that has anything to do with Riot Games. And still, Riot is making a move we've seen only a few months ago, and they are trying to make a move that shocked the entire industry a few years ago. But in Riot's case, the outcome might be one massive gamble. So the news came literally out of nowhere, with 2 Korean pro players just starting their streams, and they casually revealed that Riot Games is working on League of Legends Classic. Now, how credible is this? Well, quite a lot considering it is doinb and Uzi, but somehow I still have no idea how it's possible for something like this to leak. For context, I do have my fair share of experience dealing with Riot's NDAs, and after about 10 years, I still, successfully, never leaked anything. And that's because the way Riot works is that when they show you something, either because of testing or because they need opinions, or to just give creators some time ahead to make content, they always show you the dates and they remind them at the beginning and at the end of every presentation. And because people still keep leaking stuff, they shove the embargo dates in your face at every opportunity. And so, for someone to just come out and casually reveal this, I have no idea how it's possible. What is even more hilarious is the way doinb and Uzi presented these news. doinb said, and I quote, "I don't really have any news. All I know is that Classic server is supposed to come out next month."
Wait, that early?
So you do have news. After which Uzi came out and said, and I quote, "The word on the street is League of Legends is getting a Classic server. Is it public knowledge? I still can't talk about it." After which he realized that Riot hasn't said anything yet, and he kinda realized he screwed up by revealing it. After which he freaked out even more because Riot really hasn't announced it, considering it is coming out soon. Which lines up with doinb mentioning it should be coming out next month. So as far as Alibi goes, this seems legit, and it is funny to see it got leaked so casually. And what supports this even more is another chain of events that happened around Riot.
This is
More
true.
on that later.
I was thinking about this photo right now. I didn't know if this was connected and shit. Also unrelated because I haven't spoken for a while. Alas just posted that he's in. What did Alas post? Let me see what he posted. Alas posted he's at Riot Games. It's in fucking Korean though. Some food for thought. This is in Korea, by the way. I don't know where the fucking Korea this is, but this is in Korea, bro. Hashtag noticing. Hashtag noticing, bro.
First, what even is Classic League of Legends? Well, as far as we know, the idea would be the same thing that Blizzard pulled off,
Guys,
which made them
I can't translate it. I clicked on it though. It said see location, and it's just somewhere in Korea. So I hope that helps.
an unholy amount of money, and that was releasing Classic WoW, which became one of the biggest releases in MMO history. Essentially, just like how Classic WoW released the original World of Warcraft. Because after 20 years of updates, the game became totally different, League of Legends might be trying to do the same thing. AKA, League of Legends might be coming out with a new
I didn't even
game
play
mode
League
that
at this
allows
time, though.
you to play League of Legends from Season 2.
I didn't even
Or
play League at this time,
another
though.
well-known old season from the past. And
Now I don't know. Like this is. Can I tell you guys my theory of this? This is my theory of it. Okay, you guys tell me what you think of this. This is genuinely like. I think we're going to get League of when they eventually release League of Legends 2, right? When that eventually happens, right? Hear me out. There's going to be a League of Legends 2. Boom, we're sorted, right? What they're going to do with League of Legends now is they're going to take this. So this is like the soft launch of what they're going to do. This is hear me out. So right now, let's say they release a Classic League and they give us like a Season 2 League of Legends, all right? Let's say they do that, right? What I think they'll do is they'll make League of Legends 2. That'll be the main League of Legends that everything is done through, everything is about. They will then turn this current League of Legends into a League of Legends Classic. And this League of Legends Classic will be a cycling seasonal thing where for a couple, I don't know, either weeks or months, it will randomly go back into a different patch at a random point. So maybe for a month, the game is based on Season 6, patch 7. So we're playing 6.7 for the whole time, for a month. And then next one, Season 3, patch 14, they just choose a random point, and that'll be League Classic. That'll be League Classic, and then the main league will be something different. Okay? That's my thought process.
You see, that is exactly where Classic League of Legends might run into some issues. Now, the truth is that the idea
I think so basically my point with this is I think they're soft launching a League Classic right now to prepare us for the eventual League 2 and that being the rotational seasonal thing. Is that what Fortnite does? Is that what Fortnite OG is?
All it takes is a quick search or two to find many videos on YouTube talking about this potential. And the rule of content states that if there is one person talking about a topic, it is guaranteed that there will be other people with the same mindset that will be interested in the same thing. Meaning, there is definitely gonna be some demand for League Classic. However,
just give us
as
the
we
MMO,
just
bro.
mentioned, it is not gonna be easy to pull it off. Because what exactly is League Classic? Is it League from 10 years ago, or is it League from 15 years
See,
ago?
that's why I say what I said.
Season 1 of League of Legends was a lot different from Season 6 of League of Legends. And that is one of the biggest obstacles here. With World of Warcraft, Blizzard knew exactly what they needed to do. Because Vanilla WoW was a very...
It's kind of like RuneScape too, when they released RuneScape, old school RuneScape. It's like, at what point in time are you, what classic are you trying to go for? Very similar to RuneScape. RuneScape, for those who play RuneScape, RuneScape did the same thing. They brought a RuneScape Classic. And they nailed it on what time. They kind of nailed it.
Which people just really wanted to experience again.
What season? Okay,
then
what season should be the season for Classic League? What would be the season for Classic League? For me, I guess it's because I started. Like, it's kind of biased to say when I started, but like I think season 5 or 6 is probably a good point with like what the client was. I feel like those seasons were good. Season 6, right? I feel like season 6 good.
Of the game as it released,
Zanium was rank 1. Like, shit actually mattered back then.
Going through progressive content. In League, if we go back to the old seasons, there wasn't any progressive content. Back in the day, new content for League of Legends was
I don't want it to look like this. I wouldn't play this.
Because back then,
I wouldn't play this.
Oversaturated yet, and so
if they play this, I'm not doing this. I'm not even logging on.
Or new champions.
Wallahi, if the game looks like this, I'm not. Wallahi, if the game looks like this, I'm not even logging on, bro. Like, I legit don't care, bro. I legit don't. I'm not a dinosaur, bro. This would be for legit like 30 and 40-year-olds, bro. That's all you're getting. You're getting the guys who work like. Please, bro.
Because again, there weren't too many champions yet, and they were coming out about every 3 weeks.
I'm not fucking playing.
On top of which, to sprinkle in some new, fast and fun game modes, Dominion came out of nowhere. But I strongly doubt that's something you wanna do with League Classic. I don't believe you wanna have a progressive thing, because eventually you do end up with Modern League anyway. Which, yes, that is the exact same problem that Classic WoW eventually ran into after Wrath of the Lich King. But again, with WoW, the progression is completely different from League of Legends. Here, because you don't have a theme that ties together multiple seasons, you kinda just have to pick one season and stick with it. And once you lock it in, you just need to give the players the old experience of that season. And that is where issue number 2 comes in. Balance! Because if you take old League and you give it to new players that solved the game in many ways, people are gonna destroy it.
True, actually.
And that's good. Honestly, if League Classic becomes a thing, it needs to focus on the fun. Or potentially destroying the fun of the enemy with AP Scion. And that's because that's pretty much the spirit of Classic League. Back in the day, most people didn't even play ranked. They didn't min-max every part of every champion. I mean, of course, at the highest level.
They didn't freeze waves.
But at that point, the game was still pretty much taken over by the casual audience, and people just picked whatever.
It's crazy to think about. If you just spawned me, if I went back in time and started playing in season 2, I'd be the best player in the world right now.
And everyone was here to have fun. And this is the experience that Classic League needs to deliver. Of course, people will still try.
Guys, if I could go back in time, if I could go back in time, I would go back in time
to the old game. That is unavoidable. But when it comes to the balance, just don't.
If I could go back in time, I would go back in time and not tell anyone and learn Korean and then play League of Legends at the start, knowing everything I know. And then I would want to become, like, basically White Faker. I would want to be White Faker in Korea and stun the world and be the best League player of all time. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go back in time and, like, train hard and become an athlete and become a pro. No. I would become a pro League player. And I would do all that.
Just give the game to the players as it was back then and see what happens. Which also brings up another interesting issue. Remember, the old League had talent trees. It had a completely different rune system, and it had completely different setting up of champions. So how is that
or
gonna
you could
work?
invest in Bitcoin to become a billionaire. How boring is that, bro? How lame is that? Do you think of the people? Think of a name of somebody who has so much money from Bitcoin from doing that? You can't think of a name. They don't matter. They're insignificant. Exactly. Think of it like that, bro. They legit don't matter, bro. But everybody knows Faker.
Well, could Riot actually spin up the old system?
Food for thought, bro.
The new
Food for
client?
thought.
Technically, using the new UI of the client, yes, they could. And the way you could handle this is by giving the players unlimited amount to the old resources. This means unlocking the talents and giving people free runes. Because remember, back in the day, the runes were quite the sink. And then you just let people customize the builds just as it worked back then. But the issue would be that now you are taking up memory because people are saving all the builds. Though I guess that one could work if it is stored locally, but if it is stored locally, then hacking could happen. So the other solution would be for every champion to just have a build already built into the champion. Kinda how you just pick a champion in ARAM and you don't deal with builds.
This guy waffling,
but
bro.
you would still need different options for champions to be junglers.
This guy hella waffling, by the way.
Not to mention hybrid champions. And that brings up yet another issue. You see, there is a good chance that Riot has the old assets from the old version stored somewhere. And there is a good chance that they did find a way to spin it all up. But it is extremely likely that they are not gonna be launching the old engine to run Old League on it. Security reasons aside, Old League was built for old hardware with...
Bro, I hate it when guys start waffling like this about like hacking and safety and local files and all this bullshit, bro. It reminds me of like when I was unaware that somebody could DDoS a Minecraft server if you get if you see the code of it that's public. Like, bro, this shit's so fucking annoying, bro. Why? Bro, people are so annoying about talking about this shit. It pisses me off.
And so when it comes to compatibility, if
you can talk slower, it does nothing, bro. This means
now,
nothing.
There's gonna be a bunch of errors. Interestingly enough,
like, listen what he's saying. Like, what does this
WoW
mean, bro?
launched, Blizzard fixed this by making Classic WoW run on the framework of the modern WoW client, meaning it is using the modern WoW engine to run it. That is why Classic WoW was technically better than the old version, because it has improved lighting and it has better materials for water. And it is not because Blizzard wanted to make Classic WoW look better, instead it is because they couldn't make it look worse. And when it comes to League Classic, Riot will have to do the exact same thing, especially if Vanguard is in play. And so if they actually manage to run League Classic, it has to be running on the modern engine. And so already, if this was
Who is the
by
mother
Gables
engine,
team,
bro?
they deserve a big applause, because making this run is gonna be a miracle. But also, yes, because of this, it is unlikely that League Classic is gonna be a separate server with a separate game, but rather it is gonna be a time-limited game mode inside League of Legends. Because on top of this, you can't make it run with a separate store and the old skins. People are gonna freak out because they already bought them. And so because it has to be integrated into the new client, a game mode
Doesn't have to.
sense. In fact, I believe...
Why don't they just, sorry, like, I might sound stupid. Why don't they just make it, like, a separate thing that you just, like, download? Like, does anybody know why it's not, like, the way he's waffling here, bro, why isn't it just a completely different game that you just download, almost? Like, there, like, I would, like, so for instance, when I would play RuneScape, right, it would be like, you log on to RuneScape normal or RuneScape old school, and you just click which one you want to go to, and then you log in, and then, like, can they just do some shit like that? I swear it's not, like... I can't be the one thinking of this, guys. You know what I mean? I can't be the one thinking of this.
This would be the easiest way to do this in the first place.
They'd be operating a loss. But like, you can make everything, but you can, for Classic League, you can make everything separate and people will pay money on that one too. You can just make more money, bro. You don't need to give everyone their skins and bullshit, bro. Like, this shit's so stupid.
As a time-limited game mode.
This is stupid as hell, bro. They can do that. I refuse to believe they can't.
If you want to start somewhere, then it makes sense.
This is so dumb.
Start at the very beginning. If it becomes a success,
nah, that's stupid.
Next time you can do a time-limited run of Season 2, followed by Season 3, and so on.
That's what I said!
By doing this, Riot can actually utilize the fun of
That's what I said!
Classic, and they can technically give
it
hacking
and security Vanguard.
Which all the other
why is RuneScape able to run fine?
Games have.
Tell me why RuneScape has no problems.
Frequently enough, you can actually attract new players. Which leaves us with one more thing to be mentioned. Assuming the general audience would like Classic to happen, how likely is it that Riot is actually working on it right now? Well, at the beginning of this video I did mention that history repeats itself, and now there is quite a big chance that Classic is happening. So first, let's talk about Chrono Shift. This is something that many of you will not know about because it is kinda black market kinda deal.
Oh, I remember.
But for quite some time,
I remember
the League of
about
Legends
this.
community was trying to spin up their own private
They were trying to do it
servers
themselves.
for
Yep.
old League of Legends. With one of these projects actually becoming successful and
Again, I keep referencing RuneScape because they have the old school and modern version, and I remember RuneScape used to have a bunch of like rip-off servers too. So like, I get it. I get
one
it.
was called Chrono Shift. Now, in many ways, Chrono Shift was the exact same idea as people running private servers of Classic WoW before Blizzard released the official Classic WoW. And so, if you search Chrono Shift on YouTube, you will actually find a lot of gameplay videos. And the thing is, about 3 years ago, Riot shut Chrono Shift down with cease and desist, which is exactly what Blizzard did to the other vanilla WoW server.
Cease and desist. This is what Tarzan was going to do when I tweeted the women in Korea are much more submissive and egoless than the North American women. This is the same thing. I can't believe they sent it to this private server for that. It's crazy.
Exactly what Blizzard did to the other vanilla WoW servers before Blizzard released their own Classic WoW. So the chances are that the history is repeating itself, and Riot is now shutting down other private servers so they can release their own. And so now, if we take this into account, there are other things that are lining up. For example,
you already know. Bro, you already know why he tweeted it. Bro, you already know why. Yo, Dratu made him tweet this, but you already know whose influence this is, bro. My influence, bro. This is fuck Zanium, bro. I'm legit trademarking this, bro. This is a nickich quote, bro. It's like I gotta reply to this on my phone. I need to find the right like GIF or photo for this. Give me a second, y'all. Do I have a photo for this? Like I don't even know if I have someone to reply.
Remember that Freak was taken away from the live development of League of Legends, and he was moved onto another project of League of Legends. And since Freak is one of the OGs from the very beginning of the entirety of League of Legends, he would have the knowledge of...
Freak is no longer a live designer. Asked if I wanted to work on a different League project late last year. I'm very excited about it. Oh. So he just moved.
How the game ran back in the day. Though that entire part is still a big tinfoil hat theory. But on top of this, a few weeks ago, you might have seen on social media that Riot invited another wave of creators into their head.
Okay, but why didn't I get it? I don't understand. Why didn't I get an invite to this? They're getting anybody for this. Why couldn't I get an invite? I don't get it.
Headquarters. And this time, it seems like the summit had a lot of veteran players as well as pros. Also, they let Skin Spotlights in. He probably data mined like 8 future projects. And so, overall, taking everything we just learned into account,
check your spam email box.
Be getting anything big before the big update of...
You would hype mog them? Maybe that's why.
Well, Riot might actually be hiding quite a few secrets up their sleeves, with the chances that someone doesn't pull the things out of their sleeves.
That's right. It's probably because I'm too tall. Thank you guys for making me feel better about that.
The new content we might be getting is not catering towards the younger audiences. No, they are already getting the WASD as well as the controller support. No, somehow, the new content is catering towards the boomers. And seeing it is 20-year-old content, we are ancient.
Yeah. I won't lie, bro. There is every person I've spoken to or met or interacted with that like I talk to or catch up with, etc., right? Bro, they all still play League very casually. They play ARAM Mayhem. They would have played in past seasons. Bro, this shit is perfect to drop right now. A League Classic right now in this current climate of the game is such a good idea, bro. I think you would genuinely... Hear me out, right? Hear me out. This is the vision right now. You suck in all these people that used to play. They get into the game a little bit. They start playing a little bit more casually. All this happens. Bang, League of Legends 2. This is the soft... They're fondling a little bit. They're teasing everybody right now. They are edging you to perfection for League of Legends 2.